What's up everyone? Today I am going to be choosing my TBR for March, which is probably going to be my last TBR video before my baby comes. I'm due April 1st, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna be doing a TBR video in April just because I don't wanna say I'm not gonna read anything at all, but I feel like having that pressure would be a little too much. I am planning on probably taking like a break from YouTube, both in April and May, and then trying to come back in June once I kind of have a better schedule with my new baby. Now, I'm gonna be playing my TBR game. If you don't know, I have a TBR card game that I created. I do sell this on Etsy, and my shop is still gonna be open in March, but it will be closed also for April and May while I'm with my new baby. So if you want to get your cards, definitely put an order in for March. Otherwise, I will be reopening again probably in June, and I will be coming out with a few more card decks. I'm working on a thriller card deck and some other fun things. Now, my TBR game is a little bit different this month because over on Patreon, I am actually playing a TBR jar challenge with my patrons. And so I actually paired myself up with a patron. Everyone got paired up. Your partner is choosing the books for you, and then you're putting those books in a jar, and then you pick them randomly throughout the month to read. Now, how I'm playing is because I wanted to play my TBR game, I'm gonna be picking the cards from my TBR game that have the prompts, but I'm not gonna be picking the books to fit the prompts. My patron Kristen is actually gonna be picking those books for me. So we're gonna pick the cards, we're gonna see what the cards are, and then I'm giving her full access to my TBR shelf here, plus my library list, and she's going to pick the books that she thinks fit the cards, and that's going to be my TBR. So I will be updating with her thoughts on that. Now, I do have a stack of books already because I have the Backlist Readathon here in March, which if you have not seen that announcement and that video, I will put it up here for you. That's gonna happen, I think it's March 12th through the 18th, and I already have my TBR set for that. Okay, I'm doing my random comment picker here just to see. Okay, so Danielle, who is actually a patron and friend of mine, she wants me to build my deck with 10 rewards, 5 library, 4 from my shelf, and 2 Patreon recommendations. I think she forgot to type in the punishments here, so whatever doesn't make up 30, because usually you build a deck of 30 for my game, I will be incorporating the punishments for that one. Okay, so I actually sent a message to Danielle in order for her to give me like new numbers since they didn't first equal to 30. So she gave me 10 shelf, 5 library, 2 Patreon, 3 punishments, and 10 rewards. She's being super nice to me. So I went ahead and I made my deck with all of those in here. 10 reading from my shelf, the 3 punishments, that kind of thing. And then I have my draw cards. So I am going to do 5 books since I already have like a pretty large TBR for March with the readathon. So let's go ahead and get started and picking the 5 books, or I should say 5 prompts, because then Kristen is going to pick the books for me. All right, first up, fan cards out and pick 1 at random. So I'm going to do it this way, I guess, and I just won't really look. Okay, so I'm like not, oops. Literally dropping them. Okay, let's just do this one. Okay, this is a pink reading from my shelf card. It says a book title starting with the same letter as the month of the challenge. So Kristen will have to pick a book from my shelf that starts with an M since it's going to be March. Okay, we are back. It is another day, and my friend Kristen picked out the books for my TBR for the prompts. So let me tell you what she picked. For the prompt for my shelf, that was a book title starting with the same letter as the month of the challenge, so March, so an M. She picked Jodi Picoult's My Sister's Keeper, which I am very excited about because this I feel like is like the most popular Jodi Picoult book, and I have not read the book or watched the movie, so I'm hoping that I can actually do a vlog of me reading the book and also watching the movie, because I hear that the ending is different in the movie. So I kind of want to like compare what I like better, or like which did it better, the book or the movie. So I'm very excited, and I actually have not read the synopsis of this. I said before where I feel like Jodie, her synopsises are kind of very vague, so you don't really know much anyway. So I'm probably just gonna dive into this one without really knowing what's going on because I just really like Jodie's writing. Okay, next draw card. Draw from the top. Okay, this is, oh no. I don't know how I'm gonna do this one. This is a library card, but it says to get the librarian to pick a book off of my TBR. So I wonder if it just counts if I just let Kristen pick any book from my library TBR. I think that's how we're gonna do this one. All right, the next one was get the librarian to pick a book from my TBR, which Kristen was just pretending to be my librarian for the day. And she was actually nice, and she picked the buddy read that we're gonna be reading in Patreon. So that's kind of nice because I get to double up on that. So this is All Good People Here. According to Goodreads, this says the host of a crime podcast uncovers her hometown's dark secrets when she becomes obsessed with the unsolved murder of her childhood neighbor and the disappearance of another girl 20 years later. So I think this is gonna be like a murder mystery. I've heard a lot of good things, and it is the buddy read for Patreon, which I do wanna clarify that if you wanted to join my Patreon, right now would be a good time to do it because I'm actually gonna be pausing the billing cycle within April and May because of me having a newborn baby. So that means that anyone that's part of my Patreon within April and May actually won't have to pay for that month's of membership, but I will still be doing some of the content while I can, like doing some of the behind the scenes, like video chatting and stuff. I will probably still be doing a buddy read because I'll be able to just focus on reading that one book per month, and I'll still be active in Discord and sharing pictures of my baby and stuff like that. So now is definitely the time to join, so that way you can be in there for April and May when I turn off the billing cycle. Otherwise, no new members can join while my Patreon has that like billing cycle turned off. Draw from the top again. Ooh. Okay, I'll have to see if I can do this in this month with me being 9 months pregnant. Make apple pie and ice cream from scratch. Alvin is going to love me making ice cream from scratch because he loves when I do that, and I don't do it very often. And I do like apple pie. So this is a punishment that I have to do. Okay, here we go. Shuffle and pick the third card. Okay, shuffle. Ooh. Also, I'm kind of excited because since I'm gonna have a break from like doing videos and reading a whole bunch, I actually wanna update my TBR cards since it's almost a year since I've been playing the game. So I'm gonna update it to like the version that I have, like that I sell on Etsy. Okay, 1, 2, third card. Okay, choose a book that matches your current outfit, and this is from the library. So, do I make Kristen choose a book from my library TBR that matches her current outfit? Or do I do it where it matches my current outfit? My current outfit is just a brown shirt and black leggings. Maybe she should match it to hers. Okay, the next book, this prompt was a library prompt, and it said choose a book that matches your current outfit. For that one, I believe Kristen was wearing blue that day, so she picked Lisa Jewell's The Night She Disappeared, which I actually had this like on my TBR to read another month, and I didn't quite get to it, so I am very excited to hopefully be able to get to this one. I believe that this is kind of a domestic thriller where a young couple goes missing. Lisa Jewell apparently writes very dark novels. I think I've only read maybe 2 of her books. So this would be the third one, and you know, I hope that I like it. All right, draw from the bottom. The bottom, ooh, okay, it's a punishment. This says drink 2 cups of water only while reading for 1 hour. So while I read for 1 hour, I'm gonna have to drink 2 whole cups of water in that hour, which is good because I'm not a big water drinker. I'm just never really thirsty, so I guess it's a good punishment. Draw 5 cards, look at them, put them face down, shuffle and pick one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's look at them. We've got a Patreon recommendation from Tyra, Sworn to Silence. We have, from my shelf, read a book and cook a meal that fits that book, which that's what I do in my bookish inspired cooking vlog, but I wasn't really gonna do one for March just because I don't feel like I'll have time to get it done. Get a massage reward. Buy a book for yourself reward. Movie night with snacks reward. Okay, so let me, oops, I flipped these all the wrong way. Okay, let's shuffle. And see which one we get. Buy a book for yourself! Oh my gosh, this is the one that I wanted. I might buy The Housemaid because I've heard people like saying great things about it, but I don't know. I'll have to think because there's also a Mediterranean cookbook that I really wanted to buy. I have decisions to make on that one. Draw until you hit a library prompt. Okay. That might be far. Nope, nope, nope. Also, why am I hitting so many libraries when there's only like 5 libraries in here? Okay, here we go. A book that's the same color as what I drank today. So again, I can probably either have me or Kristen do this one where I have had coffee and tea, so obviously that is that color, but she might have drank something more cooler than me. Okay, the next prompt was a library prompt of a book that's the same color as what I drank today. Kristen had only actually drank water that day, so we went by what I drank, which was coffee with cream. So then she picked Crossroads because it is that like kind of coffee color, and I was so surprised how small this is. I did not realize that this was a small book. I thought it was gonna be a normal size book. How far would you go to bring back someone you love? When Chris's son dies in a tragic car crash, her world is devastated. The walls of grief close in on Chris's life until one day a small cut on her finger changes everything. I kind of wonder if this is like alternate reality or something like that. So I'm excited, and I'm actually really glad. This is like 100 pages. Yeah, 110 pages. That's kind of really cool. Swap top and bottom. Okay. Bottom, top. So we're picking this one. How in the heck did I literally get like all of the library ones? Okay, this is a library and it's a 5-star prediction. So it's going to be a library book from my list, but I'm going to let Kristen think what is a 5-star prediction in her mind. All right, then we have a library book that would be a 5-star prediction. And Kristen actually picked Uncultured, which is a memoir, which I think is a great like 5-star prediction because it is going to be about cults. Now this one I am still waiting for. It's still on hold at the library. I might see if I can find the audio somewhere in case it doesn't come in on time, but I am very excited about this because you guys know how much I love cults. All right, I have a few other books that are on my TBR for the month. So I have my Aardvark book club pick. Aardvark is a book subscription where you get to pick from one of the 5 selections every single month, and it's a hardcover book. I actually picked this one in February, but I try and do a reading vlog where I read the Aardvark pick every single month. So I'm gonna be reading The House of Eve, and I actually have a discount code right now where you can sign up as a new member to Aardvark and get your first book for only $4. So I will leave that down below, and it's only good for March. But like, look at this. This is a very nice, beautiful book. So you could get something like this for $4. This is actually kind of historical fiction. I wanted to try it out. This is in the 1950s, and it's about 15-year-old Ruby who wants to become the first in her family to attend college. But I guess her mom has a taboo love affair happening. And then there's another character, Eleanor, that we're gonna read about. So I'm actually really excited to see where this goes. I think it's more like historical fiction, domestic type of thing. And I love the 1950s. So I hope that I really like this. And like I said, I'm supposed to be doing a reading vlog for that. Then we have my read of the month. So this is just something that I like to do where I have a patron pick a book for me to read each single month. And so this one is Look Closer by David Ellis. Now this is actually kind of big, like this is bigger than I thought it was. And I believe this is a domestic thriller. It says Simon and Vicky couldn't seem more normal. A wealthy Chicago couple with a stable, if unexciting marriage, but with these two, absolutely nothing is what it seems. I also have a Bible study book that I'm reading this month. I'm doing this again with my patrons. This is Anxious for Nothing. I feel like with my birth coming up, I have some anxiety just involving like, you know, things that could happen. Like I had the high blood pressure scare, and I just wanna like make sure I'm not feeling anxious about things that are out of my control. So I'm doing this book, and the study guide is actually on Scribd. So I'm doing this with the study guide with my patrons. And then I have these books from my Backlist Readathon TBR. So The Wife Before, Book Lovers, My Daddy the Pedophile, The World in Flames, and Secrets in the Cellar. So these I have set aside for when I'm doing the Backlist Readathon, which is March 12th through the 18th. And then the rest of my books, I will be reading throughout that. So hopefully, I don't know, this is like a lot of books for March. We'll see if I can get to all of them, but I'm gonna try my hardest. All right, so that was my TBR for March. Like I said, you can get the Aardvark book club pick for $4. Link is down below. You can also check out my Patreon down below, because if you wanna join, March is gonna be the month to join, so that way you can stay in there for April and May with no charges. Otherwise, you would have to wait until I reopen it back up. And if you liked my TBR game, check that out on Etsy, because again, March is going to be my last month that I have my Etsy open until the summertime when I get a hang of things. So if you wanna get your TBR cards, get them now in March. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in another video very soon. Bye everyone.